Our objective today, I can derive the quadratic formula by completing the square. Let's read together. 1, 2, 3. I can derive the quadratic formula by completing the square. So by now, like I said, and like we mentioned, we already know the process for completing the square. Is that correct? Yeah. And do we know the quadratic formula? Yes. X equals minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And some of you forgot the whole thing the other day. I don't know why. But the word derive means to abstract from something or to get something out of. So today we're going to abstract the quadratic formula from an equation. Okay? But before we get there, though, check this out. This is what I want us to do. I want us to, we don't need a Freire model. We don't need steps for the for completing the square because we already know these by heart. What I am going to do is do a quick exercise that does not involve anything in writing. So I want to see how well you know your process. Here we go. So, pens down, eyes up here. So check this out. I'm going to first write an equation. You're not writing anything down, please. Pens down. Here it goes. X squared plus 2x plus 1 equals y. Okay? X squared plus 2x plus 1 equals y. X squared plus 2x plus 1 equals y. Everybody there? All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to blank this out. I'm going to call your name. You're going to tell me what the next step is without writing anything down. Because by now we already know the process for completing the square. Okay? So here we go. So we started off with x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals y. What would I write on the next line? Joey. X squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 0. Hands if you agree. That is correct. So what would be the next step? Pass it to someone, Joey. Nadeshta. What would be the next thing you would write on the next line? She said divide the whole thing by 1. Does everybody agree with that? And we end up with x squared plus 2x plus 1 equals 0. That is correct. Pass it to someone. Natalia, what will we do next? You would do what, I'm sorry? Subtract 1 to the other side, so minus 1 minus 1. So we end up with x squared plus 2x blank equal to negative 1. Okay? Everybody following? Okay. X squared plus 2x blank equal to negative 1. Pass it to someone. Melanie? Okay. What would be our next step? What is B? To both sides? So she said x squared plus 2x plus b over 2 squared, which is 2 over 2 squared, equals, and then we already had negative 1 on the other side, plus, parentheses, 2 over 2 squared. Is everybody following? Okay, so let's see. 2 over 2. 2 over 2 is, 1 squared is, so we're left on this side with x squared plus 2x plus 1 equal to negative 1 plus 1, which is, wait a minute. So we end up with x squared plus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. What do you guys notice? We ended up with what we... So what happens with that when we end up with a 0? We end up at the end with what? Talk it over with your neighbors. What do we end up with at the end? Close. What do we end up with, Bailey? One solution. So let's see. Look up to the screen. So right now we did all the steps, and right now we're here at x squared plus 2x plus 1 equal to 0. So at that point we're going to do a factor. Factor the first, factor the last. We're left with x plus 1 squared equal to, how do we cancel that square? Square root, square root. We're left with x plus 1 equal to 0. And how do we get rid of this 1? Minus 1 minus 1. Therefore, x equals to negative 1. And it's only one root. Everybody see that? Okay. So now that we have our process, today we're going to do something very similar. That's why I wanted you to do this activity with me to see if you're following your process. So today is going to be one of those, imagine that I'm a master Jedi, and you guys are my Padawans, and you guys are learning how to use the Force. So that's what you're going to do today. So at the top of your paper, I want you to write this down, please. Write deriving the quadratic formula. 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 Write this down. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals to y. And we have arrived. Here we have an equation that has no numbers, just that exponent of 2. Other than that, everything is just variables. That's why I wanted to do that activity so you can trust your steps. You already know the steps, right? All right, so with that said, on the far right-hand side, I want you to write step number 1, SF, which means what? Standard form. It's already standard form, but we need to change the y to 0. Ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. All right? Step number 2. Who remember step number 2? Yeah. Divide by the LC, the leading coefficient. What's our leading coefficient now here? A. So we divide everything by A. That means A divided by A is 1, so we're left with x squared plus B divided by A is B over A, and that's an x, plus C divided by A, that's C over A, equals 0 divided by A is 0. Step 3. Let's see. What is step 3, Michael? Very good. He says subtract, so which means eliminate C. And what is C right now? Everyone? C over A. So we subtract C over A, subtract C over A. So we're left with x squared plus b over ax, and leave a space, equal to negative c over a. Step 4. We're going to add b over 2 squared. Now for this one I'm going to zoom in because this is kind of tricky since now we're ending up with fractions. So watch. I'm going to write plus b over 2 squared. So b over 2. What is b right now? B over a. So can we write b over a over 2? No, because that's a fraction over a fraction. How's another way of writing it? So you guys can see what I'm saying. This is b, right? But what goes in here is b over 2. That means this over 2. Can we write this like that? No. What's another way of writing this? Everyone. B over a divided by 2. That's what over 2 means, right? So whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. B over A divided by 2 squared. Now, before we go to the next step, I need to simplify this side. I have two different fractions, but there's some more stuff going on here. So check this out. I'm going to write the next step, which is x squared plus b over ax plus b over 2a squared equals negative c a over a plus b over 2a squared. So some of you are asking, Mr. Q, how did you get from this to b over 2a? Very good question. I want you to draw a little thinking bubble right here. So let's write this one here, b over a divided by 2. If I wanted to simplify this fraction, what do? Write 2 over 1. So then what is the next step? B over a, and instead of division it becomes multiply times the reciprocal, which is 1 over 2. So what is b times 1? B. What is a times 2? And that's how we get this. Does everybody see that? All right. Let me zoom out, see where we're at. Okay. So this thinking cloud was just so that you know how to get this. But the steps are like this. From here, here, here to here. Are we there? Do you need to do this? No, that's just a thinking cloud so you know how to get this, right? Okay. But still, we end up here with two fractions. So check this out. All I'm going to do is switch these so that the numerators are in alphabetical order. Which one comes first? B. So therefore, I'm going to write b over 2a squared minus c over a. Question. What is b squared? B squared. What is 2a squared? What is it? 4a squared. Bring down the negative c over a. Does this look familiar? Yes. To subtract these two fractions, we need a what? A common denominator. What do we need to multiply by? 4a times 4a. Therefore, we're left with b squared minus 4a squared minus, what is 4a times c? 4 what? 4ac in alphabetical order, right? Over 4a squared. Now, can we combine those two fractions? Yes, Mr. Q. It becomes one fraction, 4a squared, and then we combine the numerators. Draw your heart. Aww. Can we combine any of these? No, so we just write it out. What do we have? B squared minus 4ac. Okay, let me zoom out. I know, right? Let me zoom out. Okay, so bring down the equal sign and bring down this x squared plus b over ax plus b over 2a squared. So, next step, step number 5 is to factor. Whew. Let me recap to see if we are following where we're at. We started off with a standard form equation. We changed y to 0. Are we there? Divided by the leading coefficient, which was a. There it is. And we ended up with this. Eliminated the constant. So we subtracted c over a from each side. We added b over a divided by 2 to both sides, and that became b over 2a squared to each side. Are we there? But then we needed to simplify these two fractions, and we rewrote them in alphabetical order, B on top first and then C. Then we simplified this fraction here, B squared became B squared, 2A squared became 4A squared. Combine them by multiplying times the, making sure we had a common denominator. Combine like terms, we couldn't, so we just wrote it as B squared minus 4AC. Therefore, at that point, we're going to factor. We know this is a perfect square, right? So what do I do there to factor? Everyone? Square root of the first, and that is x. Square root of the last, and what does that leave us? B over 2a. What is the sign? Plus, and all that, squared equal to b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. Are we there? So we're down to step 6. Step number 6 is to take the square root. Why do we need to take the square root here, everyone? Huh? To eliminate the what? The square. Square root of this, square root of this. This cancels this. We're left with x plus b over 2a equals. Now, stop what you're doing really quick. Look up. I'm going to take the square root of 4a squared. What is square root of 4? What is square root of a squared? A. But on the numerator, I can't take the square root because there's a subtraction. Who sees this subtraction right here? You can't take square roots if there's addition or subtraction inside, so it stays the same. So what do I write for the numerator? Plus, minus, what else? Square root, what else? B squared minus 4ac. Yep. And then what do we do here to solve for x, everyone? Subtract b over 2a. B over 2a. Subtract b over 2a. We ended up with x equals negative b over 2a. And then the other fraction is plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. But we have two fractions. Do they have a common denominator? Yes. So therefore, what do we end up with? X equals minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And that's our quadratic formula. What's that? Bam. Let's look at it. Let's admire this. Let's admire this beauty.
Oh my God.
Some of you are like, and some of you are like, hold on. Here it goes. We started with a standard form equation, ax squared plus bx plus c equals y. Then we followed the process of completing the square. Is that correct? And I said, trust the steps and do the step, but not without numbers. It's just variables. So let's see. We change it to standard form by changing y to 0. Eliminate the constant, divide by the leading coefficient, which was a. Eliminate the constant, which was c over a. Add b over 2 squared, which became b over 2a squared. From there, we added this side, which was all this to simplify the fractions, yes, and we ended up with b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. From there, we factored, so we took the square root of the first, square root of the last, so we had x plus b over 2a squared. To cancel this square, we did the square root to both sides. We ended up with x plus b over 2a equals square root of the denominator, that's 2a, but the numerator we couldn't because it has a subtraction, so we stay with plus minus square root of b squared minus 4ac. We need to get rid of this b over 2a, so we subtract b over 2a to each side. But we have two fractions, this one and this one. But what do we notice? We have the common denominator, so we write it as one fraction. That's how we end up with x equals minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Bam. Isn't that cool? And that's how we get the quadratic formula. So, turn your paper over, please. This is for real. You're not dreaming. Somebody slap Victor so you see he's not dreaming. Just playing. Just playing. That's how you end up, yeah. So, in the back, copy this down, please. In the back, write this down. Deriving the quadratic formula. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals y. Okay, let's do it again. Thank you, Victor. Be nice. All right. So, boom, that's true. All right, so let's do this one together. Ready? Victor, step one. Standard form. Is it in standard form, everyone? Yes, so we just change y to 0. Ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Pass it to someone. Joel, step 2. Step 2. Oh my goodness. Joe. Divide by the leading coefficient, which is what? A. So we divide the entire equation by A. So we're left with x squared plus b over ax plus c over a equals 0. Next step, Leilani. Eliminate c. So we subtract c over a, subtract c over a. We're left with x squared plus b over ax, leave a space, equal to negative c over a. Step 4, Russell. Step 4, Russell. Yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna have to do, you're gonna do,
Parentheses.
b over a divided by 2.
B over a divided by 2 squared. Add b over a divided by 2 squared, because that step is add b over 2 squared, right? However, this turns into something else. What does this turn into? Russell. B over 2a squared. B over 2a squared. So we end up with x squared plus b over 8x plus b over 2a squared equals negative c over a plus b over 2a squared. So at this point, instead of continuing down, we're going to take a little side step and do something to this side. Help me out for this side. What do I do? Vanessa, can you zoom in? What do I do to this side? I do what? Combine it. So what do I write first, though? Close. I write this one first, b over 2a squared minus c over a. Simplify this power. What does this become, Vanessa? B squared over 4a squared, and bring down the negative c over a. Pass it to someone. Huh? Jimmy, how do I combine these two? What do I do? Close. Okay. Multiply times 4a. Multiply times 4a. That is correct. We're left with b squared over 4a squared minus, what is 4a times c? 4ac over 4a squared. So, do we have a common denominator, everyone? Yes, our common denominator is 4a squared. And we draw our heart to combine the numerator. Oh, what do we have left? B squared minus 4ac. And bring everything else down. Equal. Let me zoom out now. What do we have on this side? We have x squared plus b over ax plus parentheses b over 2a squared. Now we're going to step 5, which is factor. How do I factor from here? 1. Square root of the first, square root of the last, symbol of the middle term, and all that squared equal to b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. Continue from there. Caden, what do I do from there? Square root. Why? Why do we skip square root? So you can get rid of the square. So square root here. And the other side, we're left with x plus b over 2a equals plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Once again, why couldn't we take the square root of the numerator, everyone? Because it has a subtraction inside, right? We can only do it if there's multiplication throughout. Continue from there. Callista, what do I do? Subtract b over 2a, subtract b over 2a. We end up with x equals negative b over 2a. Then the second fraction is plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And then what do we do, Bailey? Common denominator. So therefore, what do we end up with? Damn. Be nice. Good. Everybody got it? Okay, get another blank sheet of paper out. Or turn the paper over. You don't get it? Yes. I'll let you know right now. Okay. Turn your paper over. Write this on the back. Deriving the quadratic formula. Yes. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals y. Because for home plate, look, what is home plate? You need to do 6 of these. So now this is a process. Watch. You get home, get a blank sheet of paper, or if you're coming in for tutoring, we're going to be doing this in tutoring. You get a blank sheet of paper, and you're going to write the quadratic formula, deriving quadratic formula. You're going to write the equation, right? From there, you're going to do the entire process. Turn your paper over, do it again without looking at your notes. Get another blank sheet of paper, do it again without your notes. Flip it over, do it again. Another paper, do it again. Flip it over, do it again. I'm sorry? Yeah, if you get stuck, but by now you should have it, right? Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so make sure you finish that for home plate tonight, 6 of them. Okay, if you get stuck, like with the first try, look at your notes. Second try, you should be just about done without looking at your notes, and the rest of them should be by memory. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your home plate. See you guys tomorrow.